I'm Michael Jackson. I'm the president of Alumni. No, I don't sing, y'all. I'm the president of the Alumni Association. We're going to get started here. But let me tell y'all a quick story here. This couple that I knew, one evening, their 19-year-old daughter brought her boyfriend home to meet the parents. And the guy had tattoos all over, earrings all in his nose and tongue. And she said, "Daddy, Mom, this is my boyfriend, meet him." And so the dad kind of frowned and said, "Look, I need to talk to you." He took her to another room. He said, "Look, this guy looks like a bad guy. I don't like him. He looks just very bad." And she said, "Daddy, don't worry, he's a really good guy. He's doing 500 hours of community service." Y'all don't steal that joke now. I'm very excited to be back on campus for this program. A lot of positive things going on at the college, all the buildings. You get to meet your friends again. I know we all getting older, right? This is a special time, homecoming weekend. Each year, the Alumni Association Board of Directors and the Athletic Hall of Fame, they select alumni who are standouts in their field, they're talented athletes, and big dedicated leaders. And at this time, we're gonna have this ceremony. It's a 90-minute ceremony, unless we somehow go into overtime, y'all. And I'm gonna introduce our special president right now. He's done a really good job, Dr. Milton Moreland. Dr. Moreland.
Thank you, Michael. Class of '85, it is so good to have you back on campus, and it is a beautiful bluegrass Kentucky morning. So we got a little rain to tamp down the dirt a little bit, and now we're all in with a beautiful homecoming day. Welcome back to campus for those of you who are coming back after a little time away, and we hope that as you're visiting all the buildings and the new things that are happening on campus, that you're proud as an alum of this college. You're proud of where we're going, that we are looking forward to a very, very bright future at Center College. Proud of what our alumni are doing, and proud of what our students are doing, and proud of what we will do in the future. It's an outstanding time to be at Center. Dina and I learned very quickly a few years ago upon joining you that homecoming weekend is a special occasion. It really is a time when people come back remembering what happened at this campus to inspire you, an inflection point, a diving board, if you will, in your life to spring yourself forward into amazing opportunities to be leaders in your community, to be servants in our world, but also to be leaders of industry, nonprofits, finance, lawyers across the globe, and all the great careers that come out of this incredible place. And we're proud when you come back that hundreds and hundreds of you come back proud, loyal, gold and white wearing alumni of Center College. So welcome back. We're happy to have you here and happy to celebrate this particular occasion. Our 60th year together celebrating with the Alumni Association, honored, distinguished Center College alumni and friends. Today's ceremony is an important tradition in the life of this college, one that recognizes success, praises service, and acknowledges outstanding leadership. Before we introduce this year's honorees, I'd like to invite all past award recipients, distinguished alumni, Athletic Hall of Famers, and honorary alumni, please stand and be recognized by the rest of us. Welcome back. Thank you for your continued support of Center College. We are so proud of your accomplishments. To our honored guests here on the stage with me this morning, thank you for all you have done for this college, and really for all you will do for this college, because this is a lifelong relationship. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to all of the families, friends, sorority and fraternity members who've come back, team members who've come back to support and show a welcome and honor to these folks, thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing this special tradition, for helping us celebrate these outstanding individuals. They are exemplary leaders in careers, in community, and in life. Welcome back to Center College.
I'm a 1985 graduate of Center, and I do have to say the degree really helps. I ended up going to Florida State Law School, and you always have a good football team this year. And being a long-time district attorney in Selma, Alabama, so the degree does mean something. Now, it's my pleasure right now to introduce Mackenzie Tomlin. She has a little one on the way, so maybe that'll be a Center graduate one day. But anyway, let's welcome Mackenzie. Give her a big welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. In 1993, the Board of Directors of the Center College Alumni Association voted to institute the Young Alumnus Award. This award recognizes outstanding achievement, civic accomplishments, and/or service to the college. It is awarded to alumni who have graduated within the last 15 years, and this year we are pleased to honor Dexter Horn, class of 2016. Sorry. Dexter Horn, class of 2016. Dexter stated his dream would be to become a community organizer who could eliminate poverty. This is the type of person that Dexter is. In his work as the Leadership Development Specialist with the Council of State Governments, Dexter loves solving problems and working with state leaders to overcome the many challenges in our communities. Being a Bonner Scholar at Center College, Dexter's commitment to helping others was evident early on. Bonner Scholars are matched with nonprofit organizations, schools, and government agencies that match their social interest. Dexter completed over 1,000 hours of community service and training, including summer bicycling across the country to raise money and awareness for affordable housing. In addition to his volunteer work, Dexter was also a member of the Phi Kappa Tau fraternity and served as community service and philanthropy chair, as well as recruitment chair and president of the Delta chapter. And if all of this was not enough, Dexter also served as the Speaker of the House for Student Government, mentored students in the English as a second language program, and worked for the admissions office. After graduating from Center College, Dexter earned his Master of Public Administration from the University of Kentucky. Before Dexter's position with the Council of State Governments, his career began with Ronnie Baston for mayor campaign, then to a project manager position with the McNary Group, and then served as a development associate with the Louisville Public Media. Currently, Dexter serves on the board of the Louisville Public Media. He also serves as the chapter director, or he has also served as the chapter director and recruitment co-chair with the New Leaders Council, vice chair of the Community Investment Cabinet with the Metro United Way, vice president of Community Director of Public Issues with Young Professionals Association of Louisville, and board member of the Delta chapter of Phi Kappa Tau fraternity. In grateful recognition of Dexter's unwavering commitment to serve others in leadership, I'm honored to recognize Dexter Horn with the 2023 Distinguished Young Alumnus Award.
Well, first of all, thank you, Mackenzie, for that introduction. Thanks to all of you in the Center College alumni community for selecting me for this honor. And also, yikes, I didn't realize this until Mackenzie emailed me that I told people at this school that I wanted to solve poverty when I was a teenage student here. I think we all know that that is insane. And for those of you keeping score at home, no, I have not solved poverty, not even close. And that is not why you're here today. But I think the fact that I'm up here getting the Distinguished Young Alumni Award and not the award for the seasoned people is Center whispering to me and hinting that maybe there's still time. So here's to trying. And coincidentally, this is the serious part of the speech. That's something that my time at Center taught me and that I carry with me every day, that there is virtue and reward in dreaming big things and then doing your best to accomplish them. So I'm willing to bet that if you were to walk around campus today and survey the current students, asking them what they want out of their time on this planet, while most of them are probably smarter than me, smart enough to say something other than solve poverty, I do think that most of them, almost every one of them, would tell you that they want to do something that is difficult to attain. And I loved Center as a student, and I still love it now because I see this as a place where young people come to be challenged and where they leave prepared to do the difficult things that our country needs and that our lives demand. Center is where I personally was taught the skill of applying healthy skepticism to the information that I'm given and how to persevere through the discomfort of cognitive dissonance when approaching new ideas. Center is where I was asked to do more than identify problems, but try to solve them and to be held accountable for the solutions that I propose. And above all else, it was here at Center where I was pushed to see my failures and bad decisions, of which there were many, as part of the same grand story of progress. Center gave me, and I would argue that Center gave all of us who went here, the confidence to try, to fail, to learn, and to grow. And that by itself is an invaluable gift. To whom much is given, much is expected. And I do think that all of us, Center alumni and friends of the college, are expected to dream big, ambitious goals. And with what we learn through failure, what we gain through working with each other, and by the opportunities that time blesses us with, we are expected as adults to accomplish the lofty dreams for a better self and for a better world that we dared to dream of as teenagers. So again, I am honored to be recognized today for where I've been and the things that I've done, but I think the true honor I am getting from this award is the reminder of what is expected of me and my fellow alumni in the face of all that we still must do. So I may not solve poverty, and I probably won't, or any other huge issue that was heavy on my heart at 18, Mackenzie. But in the spirit of Center and all that I gained here, you can be damn sure I'll keep trying. So thank you.
As President Moreland said, for 60 years, the Alumni Association has recognized alumni who live the mission of Center College in every day in every way, leading lives of learning, leadership, and service. I am pleased to be joined on stage by 3 individuals who have made exceptional contributions to their professions, their communities, and to Center College. Michael Bowman, class of 1976. Mike Bowman, a retired Pittsburgh orthopedic hand and foot surgeon, was named one of Pittsburgh's best doctors 8 years in a row. This is just one of a series of accolades and accomplishments that Mike has been awarded during his distinguished career. Mike received his MD from the University of Cincinnati and did his residency at the University Health Center of Pittsburgh. He completed fellowships in Philadelphia at the Hand Rehabilitation Center and in Los Angeles with the Foot Treatment Center Orthopedic Hospital. He served as chairman in the Department of Orthopedic Surgery at St. Francis Medical Center in Pittsburgh. He was a clinical associate professor of orthopedic surgery at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine and Drexel University for 30 years. He has been a reviewer for the Journal of the American Association of Orthopedic Surgeons and for Orthopedic Knowledge Online. He served as an associate editor for Foot and Ankle International. He has had an extensive involvement with the American Association of Orthopedic Foot and Ankle Surgeons, having been a state representative, member of its board of directors, and president and vice chairman. He was involved with the American Orthopedic Foot and Ankle Society, the National Academic Society for Foot Surgeons. He was the creator of the Ankle Injuries Program for the athletic trainers and physical therapists, a program with the NFL. Mike has been a team physician for the Pittsburgh Penguins, a consultant for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a consultant for the Pittsburgh and Los Angeles Marathons. Mike was also a team physician in 1992 for the USA duathlon team when they competed in Frankfurt, Germany. Mike has authored professional publications, portions of textbooks, and research studies. He has made 149 presentations at professional and scientific meetings and conventions. At Center, Mike was a member of the Phi Delta Theta fraternity, a member of the Pre-Med Society, and was on the swim team. Mike earned several awards and scholarships while at Center, including the George Winston Welsh Valedictorian Award, the John Graham Brown Honor Scholar, and Joseph Collins Foundation Scholarship, and a Rhodes Scholarship nominee. After Center, Mike served on the Parents Committee when their son Brett was in school. For Mike's contributions and devotion to the medical field, it is with great privilege that Mike is recognized with the Distinguished Alumnus Award for 2023.
Old school, no iPad. Thank you, Mackenzie. Can you hear me? Bummer. I'm honored and humbled to be here today because there are so many incredible Center College alumni, and very thankful. I had great parents. They were poor, but they taught us to read and to do well in school. Family, Beth has put up with me for 37 years. Brent, Christy, Sally, and friends, many of whom are here. You have to, I paid my dues. And also to Center College, and especially the director of admissions, the legendary Hal Smith, who made it possible for me to attend Center College. And we were asked to reflect a little bit about our time here at Center, and I was reminded of this great interview in the centerpiece with an alumni who was a big corporate CEO, and I can't remember his name, but he said, Center College did not prepare me for my first job. It prepared me for my last job. And I thought, wow, that is really, really incredible. And in my case, a bachelor degree is a prerequisite for med school, law school, master's, PhD, et cetera. But there's really more. There's more than that. And, the bane of every college president's existence is endowment and college surveys. And college surveys come out every year, and they have a different metric every year, and you don't know whether what they're looking at is really good or not. So I tried to think about, what did I really get from Center College that helped me in my career and helped me in life? 3 things. Creation of intellectual curiosity and a lifelong love of learning. The faculty here at Center are not only passionate about teaching and transferring knowledge, but they have a passion for their particular field, and that's passed on. My personal best example is Dr. Wilt, who loved physics, wrote our book, and was absolutely amazing. And as you know, once you leave Center, learning just begins. It's exponential. There's med school, residency, fellowships, and then you get out into practice, and you learn from every patient, whether it's a success or there's some disappointment. And then you learn by teaching. Teaching is really the ultimate learning experience. And so there are med students, PT students, fellows, residents, other orthopedic surgeons. The best learning experience that I had was last year when, at the last minute, I got asked to teach human anatomy and physiology at St. Francis University. And I don't really know about the students, but I learned a lot, you know. And I got a lot of respect for college professors in the work that they do. Number two, and I think you touched on this, openness to new and challenging ideas and viewpoints. At Center, I was exposed to students and faculty that had totally different backgrounds than I did, and different ways of thinking. There weren't any safe spaces or trigger warnings. I remember in world religion, one of my favorite classes, we were assigned a religion totally different than ours, and you had to learn it, present it, and defend it. And it was the same with political ideas and history. And it taught you to critically assess other viewpoints to see if perhaps there wasn't something there that you could take away and learn from. But how does that pertain to medicine? I mean, after all, medicine's science. Well, you know, medicine's no different and no better than politics as far as being exposed to new ideas. One example, arthroscopy. I would imagine most of you, like me, have either had an arthroscopic procedure or know someone who has. But that was kind of controversial. Dr. Watanabe in the 1950s was putting a cystoscope into a knee to see what he could see. But almost 30 years later, in the late 70s, when I was in medical school, Frank Noyes, one of the giants of sports medicine, was just learning how to scope knees. And then in residency, the team physician for the Pirates totally poo-pooed arthroscopy, said, oh, you can't see anything and you can't do anything. Well, obviously that changed. Arthroscopy is, you know, a major tool that we use. So, you know, medicine is not anymore open to new or exciting ideas. And then lastly, critical thinking, planning, problem solving, and teamwork. And there's a lot to pack in there, but we use these every day in the OR. And here at Center, you learn a lot about these ideas, trust, and teamwork. For instance, on the 200-yard medley relay with your teammates, if you're in the lab with your lab partners, or if you're working with a group of students for a presentation or a research paper. And just one final example. So a 19-year-old young man comes into the emergency room at 7 o'clock in the morning on my OR day, and he's using a chop saw to cut aluminum siding on his summer job. And instead, he cuts his hand off, right here. So we run down to the emergency room to assess him to see if he's safe for surgery, and we take a look at the wound. Is it clean? Is it dirty? Is it sharp? Is it jagged? And start planning. And we go to the OR, and one team assesses the hand, looking at anatomical structures, and we look at the arm. And we make our plan. You know, what do we need? You know, what are we going to fix first? And so we proceed. And the bones go first. You put the radius and the ulna together with plates and screws. And then all of a sudden, we start to do the artery repair, and it's too much tension. It won't work. So as Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So what do? We could put a vein graft in, but you know, that's going to be two junctions. There's a high incidence of clotting. That won't work. So we undo the bones. We take a little saw. We shorten the bones by about that much, not enough that you can see, and put them back together, and all of a sudden the artery repairs are easy. And then a couple vein repairs. We do the tendons, use the microscope, do the nerves. And then 7 hours later, we put the skin back together, and he goes into post-op monitoring. And the best thing, a year later, we get a letter from mom and dad saying that Scott has won the golf championship at the local country club. So it's really all of these things that you learn here that help you during your career and also help you during life. So I would just say, more than any college survey, the continued success and achievement of Center College alumni in their respective fields and as citizens is really the proof of quality and value in a Center College education. Thank you.
Ross Kaufman, class of 1989. Lieutenant General Kaufman's military career began following his graduation from Center College and being commissioned an armor officer from the University of Kentucky's ROTC program in 1989. Following graduation from the Armor Officer Basic Course, Airborne Pathfinder, and Ranger School, he joined the 3rd Cavalry and deployed to Desert Shield and Storm. After his deployment, he returned to Fort Knox, where he attended the Armor Officers Advanced Course and joined the 2nd Cavalry Regiment, with whom he deployed to Haiti and Bosnia. After Lieutenant General Kaufman returned from his deployment with the 2nd Cavalry Regiment, he was selected to train company-sized units for combat operations at the National Training Center and for the Command and General Staff College in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Following 9/11, he joined the 3rd Infantry Division and deployed for the 2003 invasion of Iraq. He would return multiple times to this theater over the next 10 years. When not in Iraq, Kaufman fought the war on drugs in South Florida and notably captured the first of the cartel's semi-submersible cocaine transports near Costa Rica, yielding 7 tons of the 300-plus tons captured by his unit that year. General Kaufman commanded 1st Battalion, 64th Armor, and 1st Brigade Combat Team, served as the Division Chief of Operations, Division Chief of Staff, and as the Army's lead trainer for the brigade-level combat operations at the National Training Center as a field grade officer. Once promoted to general officer ranks, Kaufman served as the Deputy Commanding General for Operations in the 1st Infantry Division with duty in Eastern Europe. He was responsible for overseeing U.S. and NATO war plans along with the Eastern Front, and if called upon, would be the tactical and operational commander of these forces in time of competition and conflict. Most recently, he performed duties as the director of the Next Generation Combat Vehicles cross-functional team. His responsibilities included the requirements, testing, and industry negotiations for $30 billion across multiple efforts. His civilian education includes a bachelor's degree from Center College, an MBA from Embry-Riddle University, and a graduate fellowship at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government. Lieutenant General Kaufman has been a member of incredible units that were awarded the Presidential Unit Citation, the Valorous Unit Award, the Joint Meritorious Award, Unit Citation, Meritorious Unit Citation, and the Superior Unit Award. He has received numerous personal, civilian, and military awards, including the Defense Service Medal, Draper Leadership Award, MacArthur Leadership Award, and Harvey Leadership Award. Each of these are given annually to a select few. He is also a significant Sigma Chi and an Eagle Scout. Lieutenant General Kaufman has been married to his wife, Jackie, for 25 years, and together they have 3 wonderful daughters and an amazing nephew. It is with great honor to award Lieutenant General Kaufman the 2023 Distinguished Alumnus Award for his exemplary military service and leadership.
I think I'd rather be shot at than have someone say nice things about me in public. My name is Kaufman, and I'm a soldier, and I absolutely love it. I love the missions, but more importantly, I love the people. And it's just like Center College. It's why it's so dear to my heart is the people that I was surrounded with, the faculty, the administration, the students. That's what I truly loved. You know, I was recently at a Memorial Day event, and I had my full regalia on here, and I walk around and I see a group of World War II veterans sitting there in a circle. And what I found is with the older generation of soldiers, if you treat them like they were 19, they really respond. And so I walked up and I said, "Hey, boys," and they go, "Oh, shit, it's a general." And I said, I just got one question for you. How long would it take you and your team to whoop those Russians over in the Ukraine? And they muttered about and kind of exchanged looks and and the leader of the group looked at me and said, 3 months. I said, why the hell so long? He said, well, damn, sir, we're in our 90s. And that is the heart of an American soldier. You know, not only do I love the Army and love this college, but I love America. And I've always loved it, even since I was a little boy. And I think it was somewhat blind. I was supposed to love this country. It's what my parents taught me, but I didn't realize why till I came to Center and fully understood our government and our state and what we absolutely are meant to do for this world. I love it. And I've dedicated my life to that ideal, which is the United States of America. And while it's not perfect, it's better than anything else. But what is perfect to me is Center College. It has been part of my life. It's an ideal unto itself, and frankly, it was a gift to me. You know, there are expectations of us, though. Expectations we put on ourselves, expectations that the faculty or the administration or our parents put on us, but more importantly, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, the Center College O. So when you're in public and someone says, where did you go to school? And you say, I went to Center College. And they go, oh. The O. That's the expectation. They expect that you are extremely talented, that you're hardworking, that you're well-rounded, you're grounded in liberal arts, you're grounded in government, you're grounded in things that the specificity that the current education and larger university demands does not benefit its students with. You know, we have the finest professors, incredible talented students, and frankly, steel sharpens steel. And I am the man I am today because of this institution. But what they don't know, what people that meet you and learn that you went to Center College, what they don't know is that it's not an education alone. This place develops you. It makes you into a better human. It makes you understand things that others just don't get because it's an ecosystem. And this ecosystem, which is Center College, has made each of us better. You know, I've had some successes in my life, and each one of them I attribute to the foundation that was gained here. With my dearest friends and fraternity brothers, many of which are with us today, my lovely wife, Jackie, and just this great learning environment that no one else has. You know, I often tell people that I am more proud to be a Center College colonel than a U.S. Army general. Learning is the light of the mind. Thank you.
Next up, and last but not least, we have Peggy Purdom Patterson, class of 1972. The words first woman should be included in the title of every job Peggy Purdom Patterson has held since she was the first and only woman on Center's debate team. Regarded as an expert in federal civil litigation, particularly products liability lawsuits, she was appointed in 1990 as a U.S. Magistrate Judge for the federal court in Ashland, Kentucky, the first woman to be appointed to a federal judgeship in Kentucky. She credits a Center professor, the late Dr. David F. Hughes, who coached her on Center's debate team, with steering her to a career in law, which she would not have considered without his encouragement. When she was appointed to the federal bench, Judge Patterson was a partner. the first female partner, and the only woman serving on her law firm's executive committee in the Ashland, Kentucky office of the firm, then known as Ogden, Newell, and Welch. She was selected in 1993 by Supreme Court Justice William H. Rehnquist to serve on the Federal Judicial Center's Judicial Education Committee, and the following year was named as the first woman to the chair of the FJC's Civil Litigation Education Program in Washington, D.C., for which she was the lead instructor for newly appointed federal judges despite her heavy trial docket. Judge Patterson still holds the national record for the most civil jury trials conducted by a U.S. magistrate judge. She also served a record 13 years on the Judicial Council for the Sixth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, as well as a program chair for the 1997 Sixth Circuit Judicial Conference, to which she was named a Life Fellow in 2006. In 1999, she was thrilled to be named to Center's Board of Trustees primarily because that enabled her to work with her number one judicial hero. Nationally renowned federal judge appellate Judge Pierce Lively, class of 1943, who was already her primary federal judicial mentor. When Judge Lively's dear friend, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, Peggy's number two judicial hero, spoke at Center's 2004 commencement, he made sure that the two of them had an opportunity to talk privately about their shared experience surviving breast cancer. At the time, Peggy had just finished 9 months of treatment and after surgery at John Hopkins. Called the Soul of Center, when he died in 2016, Judge Lively's family asked her to speak at his memorial service in the college's Whizziger Theater about all that he had meant to her on both the federal bench and on Center's board. On the board, Judge Patterson has twice served as the chair of its Student Life and Enrollment Management Committee, as well as on the board's executive committee. At Center, with a double major in government and English and a minor in philosophy, she graduated with honors, served as president of her class, 4 years on the college council, captain of the debate team, won the Ernst Debate Prize, the Chain Club Prize, and was co-captain of the women's tennis team. In her junior year, she was selected by a faculty committee as the college's nominee for a Rhodes Scholarship. She was not allowed to enter the competition because only men were eligible. It was not until 1977 that women could compete for a Rhodes Scholarship. She graduated from the University of Kentucky College of Law in 1976, where she was the first woman to win first place at the National Moot Court Team competition, won the Sixth Court Moot Court competition, and was named to the Order of Barristers, a national honor society for law students. After working as the first female law clerk for Judge H. David Hermansdorfer of the U.S. District Court at Catlettsburg, Kentucky, from 1976 to 1978, she began her work in private law practice as the first and only woman in a law firm in Ashland, Kentucky, becoming a partner in that firm 2 years later. In 1987, she married a widower, Charles E. Chuck Patterson, the father of 3 then teenagers, including Kelly Patterson Woods, class of 1991, who Peggy had been recruiting as a prospective student. Chuck is sure that being the father of a potential Center student was what persuaded Peggy to go out with them on their first date. For many years thereafter, Chuck and Peggy hosted many receptions and dinners at their Ashland home for prospective Center students and their families, plus a host of alums and senior staff at Center. With deep gratitude for all that Center has meant to both of them, in 2003, Peggy and Chuck endowed a scholarship at Center in memory of her parents, Edgar N. and Ben Alice Purdom of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Since her retirement from the bench, Judge Patterson is still active on Center's Board of Trustees as well as other volunteer boards. On March 9th, 2023, she was selected by Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear upon her nomination by the Kentucky Commission on Women to have her portrait included in the Kentucky Women Remembered exhibit in the State Capitol building, in which her fellow Center trustee, former Lieutenant Governor Crit Blackburn Llewellyn, class of 1974, has been previously honored. The governor noted Peggy's work in the early 1980s to create domestic violence shelters in Kentucky, including writing and securing passage of legislation creating a marriage license user tax, which added $5, now $20, to the cost of Kentucky marriage license, and has since provided over $18 million to help fund 10 shelters across Kentucky. In 2016 and again in 2022, she received the Cornerstone Award from the Safe Harbor of Northeastern Kentucky, the Ashland-based shelter serving 10 counties in northeastern Kentucky, where she served as its board president for many years. At the first Center Women's Leadership Conference held on March 11th, 2023, Judge Patterson spoke about her career-defining moments at a Center Trailblazers program. In her remarks, she credited her experience on Center's debate and tennis teams, where she learned to hold her own against aggressive opponents, despite being only 5 feet tall, as the best possible preparation for a career in law, as well as preparing her for presiding in her courtroom, where she never used a gavel or raised her voice. For her trailblazing devotion to the legal profession, her community, and her alma mater, we honor Peggy Purdom Patterson as a distinguished alumna of Center College.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to echo what Michael and Ross said about Center preparing us for lives of engagement and service. But I thought what I'd talk about here this morning is life after Center and what being a Center alum has meant to me. As I look over the program, on the back of the program, I see so many names here of distinguished alums who have received this award previously, who were so important to me as a young lawyer in Ashland and beyond, and who have, I think, blazed the trail and made it a role model for me of what it means to be a Center alum and for all of us to support ourselves together as members of the Center family. When I first went to Ashland as a brand new lawyer, my very first job to clerk for the federal judge, H. David Hermansdorfer, about 2 weeks after I arrived in Ashland, there was a Center alumni event at the country club. And so, of course, I went. And one of the people I met there is on this list, Howard Van Antwerp. Van introduced me to all the lawyers that were Center alums at that dinner and mentioned to me that there was a table at the Chimney Corner restaurant in Ashland where the lawyers would gather every day for lunch, and for me to be sure and join those lawyers. I did, met some more Center people, and began to be a part of the community and engaged in not only law practice in Ashland, but civic life there as well. A few years after I was practicing in Ashland, I got interested in the cause of domestic violence and started talking to some people about we need to start a shelter for women who are victims of domestic violence. And I got to talking to another one of my buddies who's on this list, who I'd been introduced to by my judge and who was the minister of the Presbyterian Church in Ashland, Jim Rucker. Jim and Peggy were both dear friends of my judge, and when I mentioned to Jim about starting a shelter, he responded with great enthusiasm and said, absolutely, we need to do this. At the time, Jim was the president of the Ministerial Association. He got all of the churches in Ashland behind the effort, and that had a whole lot to do with our getting a shelter started there in Ashland. When I went to the bench in 1990, my great legal and judicial mentor was Pierce Lively, as you heard mentioned before, the soul of Center College. In fact, he was the one who talked me into applying for the judgeship, and then after I got there, he made sure I got introduced to people, I got exposed to experiences, had some opportunities that I otherwise wouldn't have had. So again, the Center connection, alums, members of our Center family have meant so much to me. I saved my best story, though, for last. You heard a little bit about it, and that was how I came to have Chuck Patterson ask me out on my first date. At the time, or a few years before that, I'd been trying to start a debate team at Paul Blazer High School in Ashland and got to know some of the teachers there. And so every year they'd give me 4 or 5 names of good center prospects, the kind of talented young people that they thought, these are good center prospects. So when Chuck called me up for that first date, a mutual friend had suggested he do that, I'm going through my mind and thinking, oh, Kelly, is Kelly your daughter? And he said, yeah. Well, I thought, anybody that's got a daughter that's a good center prospect has to be okay. So 8 months later, we were married and showed up on campus for homecoming for my 15th reunion and also to check on Kelly. Like her mother, Kelly has a beautiful, beautiful singing voice and became active in Center Singers, where she got to know Barbara Hall. Well, at that time, I was already a good buddy, thanks to Judge Lively, with Bill Breeze, who's on this list as well. In fact, Judge Lively and Bill Breeze were fraternity brothers. So when Bill and Barbara started to get together, we enjoyed watching the romance bloom. And to this day, Barbara is a dear, dear friend. We also learned that Barbara is a fabulous cook, as is my husband, Chuck. And one of the things we enjoy doing every homecoming is coming down a night early. Barbara and Chuck cook, I pour, and we have dinner with center faculty and continue to have those kinds of connections. As you could see, I could go on for days. The center connection has meant so much to me in my life, and to join this list of these incredible people who have helped me so much is a role model for me, and I hope for the rest of you all to be engaged as center alums and help our dear center young people to come forward too. Again, thank you very much.
Okay. We're at the stage of the program where the superstar athletes get their awards. I want to bring up, and it's my pleasure to bring up Brad Fields. He's the athletic director here. Brad.
Thank you, Michael. Welcome to everyone again here. While Center College has a long and rich tradition of high achievement in intercollegiate athletics dating back over 100 years, the Hall of Fame has been in existence a relatively short period of time. Established in 1992 with a charter class of 13 inductees, today only 153 members and 4 teams can claim membership in this prestigious group. At this time, if any members of the Hall of Fame are in attendance today, I would invite you to stand and be recognized. Now, on behalf of my colleagues in athletics and the Hall of Fame Committee, I'm pleased to introduce in alphabetical order the 5 newest members of the Center College Athletics Hall of Fame. Our first inductee is Adam Boyer, Center graduating class of 2009. Adam Boyer is one of the smartest players and best leaders the Center men's soccer program has ever had. During his time with Center men's soccer, Boyer was named a second-team All-American and a first-team academic All-American, becoming the first and only player in program history to receive these 2 elite honors in the same year. A 3-time captain, Boyer was also a 2-time first-team All-SCAC performer and a 3-time All-Region selection. Adam played in all 74 matches during his 4-year career at Center, starting 68, compiling a 54-16-4 record, the most wins by a graduating class under head coach Jeb Birch at that time. After graduation, Adam spent 3 seasons at Center as a full-time assistant men's soccer coach, helping guide the Colonels to 2 second-place finishes in the SCAC, a berth in the inaugural SCAC tournament championship game, and a combined record of 38-16-6. During those 3 years, he coached 1 All-American and 1 academic All-American. After earning his master's degree in business communication from Spalding University, Adam became the head coach at Spalding, where he is currently in his 12th season. Entering this year, Adam has won 105 games as head coach of the Golden Eagles, including 2 St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference regular season titles. He has coached 2 Offensive Players of the Year, 2 Defensive Players of the Year, 2 Newcomers of the Year, 6 All-Region Players, 56 All-Conference Players, and 1 Academic All-American. Adam was named the SLIAC Coach of the Year in 2016 and helped guide Spalding to its first ever postseason appearance. Please join me in welcoming Adam Boyer to the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
All right. It's truly an honor to be here today, and I want to start by saying how grateful I am to be inducted into the Center College Athletics Hall of Fame. It's actually perfect, too, that Tanner's here as another proud member of the Center soccer program. One of my most vivid memories of my time at Center was walking down the hallway of the old locker room in Sutcliffe, looking at the pictures of all Americans on the wall every time you walked in and every time you walked out. These weren't your modern day graphics that we see on social media made in Adobe Photoshop. They were 8x10 frame photos with name tags that Jeb and Mark and Dave had hung up. The Center Soccer All-American wall of the early 2000s. All I wanted was for my picture to be on that wall, to be like Tanner and Josh and Jacob and Dave and David. And that's what Center Soccer and Center College did for me. They made me want to be my best, to strive for the highest marks of achievement, and to make a lasting mark on the program. It's been fun to think back nearly 20 years ago to those early experiences with Center College, Center Soccer, Coach Birch and Huddy, my new teammates, NCAA Division III soccer, and D3 athletics. I'll never forget Jeb coming to my house in Louisville, sitting down with my parents and I, and making his pitch for Adam Boyer to bring his talents to Danville. I'll never forget how comfortable and at ease I felt during my visit, and how much genuine enjoyment I had in the early days of my time on campus. It was truly love at first sight, and my passion for the school and program has never really slowed down. I loved every second of my Center soccer experience. I loved the road trips, the bus rides, plane trips, all the beautiful campuses across the country. I loved the practices, first-class training equipment and facilities. I loved the competition, playing against the best that D3 had to offer each year. I loved the environment, so much support from students, staff, and faculty alike. No surprise, though, that what I loved most was the people. My teammates, my coaches, they made it feel so important, so significant, so purposeful. They provided the reason, the motivation, the collective drive behind it all. It was a remarkable group to be a part of. In particular, I remember feeling such responsibility as a senior, and it drove me to push myself to the peak of my capabilities as a player. I wanted to win so bad. I wanted to be a champion so bad. I wanted to be an All-American so bad. It was everything to me, and I'm proud to look back and know that I poured my entire self into every game of my career. I found my passion, an obsession, you might say, through my experience with the program, and my success as a player made it natural for Jeb and David to welcome me in after graduation and move from player to coach. I dove right in, and over the course of 3 years, soaked up everything I could as the assistant coach at Center. And no surprise, with the help of my Center connections, was hired as the next head men's soccer coach at Spalding University, the local Division III college in my hometown of Louisville. And here I am still today in that same role with a game here in about 3.5 hours. How incredible then to think that Center Soccer, Center College, D3 athletics, they inspired me at such a deep level to devote my entire life and professional career to that purpose. What a lasting impact, and one that I cherish at my core. My time in D3 athletics, working at Spalding as both a coach and administrator, has shown me so much about what it means to be inducted into the Hall of Fame at a university. It's a remarkable achievement, a testament to your individual story and the history of the program, the department, the institution. There's no greater honor as a student athlete. My time in D3 athletics has also shown me what an incredible institution Center College is. This is a first-class athletic department that has been setting the standard for years. This is an elite institution that does things the right way and has been for a long time. To be inducted into the Hall of Fame here is a dream come true. It is a true honor. And it's important that I thank a handful of individuals. First, my parents, who are both here today. My mom was always a guiding figure with important life decisions. While playing on a club team in high school where everyone else was dead set on going Division I, she was having absolutely none of that. Her adamance on choosing the right place for my athletic and academic career was so important, and it was this type of direction she provided throughout my childhood and early adulthood that kept me going on the right path ahead. My dad was always there, from sneaking me into my older brother's U6 soccer games to cheering me on in my high school and club and college games, coming out to my Spalding games this season. His presence in the stand was something that I counted on as a player, and gave me the extra support and comfort that I needed to be at my best. It remains that way today. With Laura Jack here in his absence, I want to say thanks to Jeb. You know, Coach Birch and I hit it off as a player-coach. He managed me really well over my 4 years and got the best out of me as a player. As an assistant, alongside Laura and Charlie, he treated me like family. Showed me what a successful head coach looks like and provided a model for how I would guide my own program one day. He helped me find my true passion and purpose in life, coaching soccer, coaching NCAA Division III soccer, working with college student athletes. I'd be lying if I said that coaching against Jeb these last 12 years has been easy. If you know Jeb, the challenge of going from his player to his assistant to standing on the opposite touch line should be pretty easy to understand. And while I regret to say my overall record against him is not what I'd like it to be, I do want to make note, and I think Carlson's here in the room, that I did win our first ever regular season game against each other. In all seriousness, you know, while the dynamic between us has grown and changed during this time, he's continued to be one of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest role models, and one of my closest friends. He's more than a head coach. I want to thank my wife, who's also here. Can't see her, which is probably a good thing. I can proudly say she's been inducted into her high school Hall of Fame. She's a former women's soccer player here at Center. We started dating here, connected through soccer, our shared experiences at Center. Her family, too, so supportive during my time at Center and to this day. She continues to let me come down here and work soccer camps every summer and leave her with our 4-year-old alone for weeks at a time. But she's rocking my life and the biggest gift that Center Soccer has given me. I've always viewed my dynamic with Center Soccer as a long-term relationship. What started as love at first sight has grown and matured over the past 2 decades. In some ways, it feels as if I've never left. In fact, we were down here taking on Center and Jeb in an exhibition just a few weeks ago. I appreciate that so many people, coaches, administrators, former students, and student athletes that were here during my time as a student athlete are still here today. It's why it always feels like home here at Center, and why being inducted into the Hall of Fame today will forever be one of my proudest achievements. Big congratulations to the other inductees and our distinguished alumni. Really appreciate everybody being here today, and thanks so much.
As Adam said, he's got to coach a game, so we're going to let him sneak out of here and get ready for that. So, Our second inductee is Tanner Goodman, center graduating class of 2001. Before it became a popular thing to do in college athletics, center men's soccer looked to a transfer to make a massive impact on the program, and they found their man at Southern Methodist University. After transferring to center in 1998, Tanner made an immediate impact with the center men's soccer program, earning all SCAC honors in all 3 of his seasons with the Colonels. A 3-year starter at sweeperback, Tanner ended his career with 7 goals and 15 assists, totaling 29 points. But the stats don't do justice to his lasting impact on center men's soccer, which can be better illustrated through a list of accomplishments won during his career. Serving as team captain for the final 2 years, Tanner earned United Soccer Coaches All-Region honors in both 1999 and 2000, and was named an Adidas Division III All-American in 1999. Tanner was recognized as one of the best players in SCAC history in 2006 when the conference named him to the 15th anniversary team. For the last 2 decades, Tanner has been a senior territory surgical sales manager for Baxter Advanced Surgery, where he has worked as a national sales trainer as well as a member of the Sales Excellence Committee and the Sales Advisory Board. Please join me in welcoming Tanner Goodman into the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Brad. Good afternoon, Center College community. I stand before you today overwhelmed with gratitude and a deep sense of honor as I accept this prestigious induction into the Center College Athletics Hall of Fame. To be recognized alongside the exceptional athletes who have come before me is truly humbling. I am deeply grateful for this incredible honor. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to the selection committee for bestowing this recognition upon me. I am grateful for your belief in my abilities and for acknowledging the hard work, dedication, and sacrifices that went into my journey as a Center College men's soccer player. To my coaches, Brian Chafin and Jeb Birch, who could not be here today, it seems like yesterday you were sitting in my living room, just as Adam had said, recruiting me as I decided to transfer from SMU and believing in my talents that one day I could be a standout player at Center College. Your mentorship and expertise helped shape me not only as an athlete, but also as an individual. Your belief in my potential and your constant encouragement pushed me to achieve new heights and strive for excellence in everything I did. I'm also incredibly fortunate to have been part of an exceptional team of teammates and friends, many of whom are here today supporting me. They pushed me to be my very best every single day. The camaraderie and shared determination we experienced on and off the field created an unbreakable bond that I will cherish for a lifetime. Your support, encouragement, and belief in our collective abilities fueled our success and made every victory that much sweeter. It was this chemistry that allowed us to be ranked as high as 11th nationally, play in 2 NCAA tournaments, and take Wheaton, the #1 team in the nation, to double overtime in the first round of the tournament. My only regret is not being here freshman year to have enjoyed more of these moments with my teammates and best friends. To my incredibly selfless mother, who sacrificed so much for my sister and I knew this would happen. You made all of this possible. You gave us everything to make our dreams a reality. You were there for us no matter what, and that love and support allowed us to succeed at the highest levels. This is also a day I certainly wish my grandparents were here to see. Besides my mother and sisters, they were my biggest fans. I owe a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid. Your unwavering love, encouragement, and belief in me have been the driving force behind my accomplishments. Your presence at every game, cheering from the sidelines, provided me with the strength and motivation to persevere through the toughest challenges. You have been my rock, my biggest fans, and my greatest source of inspiration, and this honor is as much yours as it is mine. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge the incredible support of the Center College community. From the passionate Sigma Chi brothers, known as the Couch, who consistently frustrated the other opposing teams, the professors who understood the demands of balancing academics and athletics, to the staff members who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, each and every one of you played a vital role in our success. Your support made Center College feel like home, and created an environment that allowed me to thrive both on and off the field. As I stand here today, I'm reminded of the countless hours of training, the sacrifices, the victories, the defeats, the lifelong friendships that have shaped my Center College journey. This induction into the Center College Athletics Hall of Fame serves as a testament not only to my personal achievements, but also to the collective efforts of an exceptional team, coaches, and supportive community. To the future generations of Center College athletes, I encourage you to chase your dreams relentlessly and put in the extra effort because it will pay off. Embrace the challenges because there will be many, and always give your absolute best. But most importantly is to cherish those bonds you form with your teammates, as they will be your lifelong allies. Remember that success is not solely defined by wins and losses, but by the growth, perseverance, and character you exhibit along the way. In closing, I am deeply honored to accept this induction into the Center College Athletics Hall of Fame. It is a privilege that I'll forever hold close to my heart. Thank you for believing in me, for this incredible recognition, and providing me with an experience that has shaped me to the person I am today. Thank you, and go Colonels.
Our third inductee is Adam Hay, center graduating class of 2007. In 2004, the last name Hay became synonymous with center football, specifically over the loudspeaker at Ferris Stadium. Tackle by Hay, that became one of the most heard phrases at center football games over the next 4 years. Adam started the first game of his first season and was a permanent fixture with the linebacking corps for the next 4 years. He led the Colonels in tackles for 3 straight seasons and was the top tackler in the SCAC for 2 years in a row, finishing with over 400 stops for his career to rank in the top 10 in SCAC history. He holds the center record for 25 solo tackles in a game, the second most by an SCAC player in any game, and a record that will surely take a Hall of Fame caliber performance to break. Adam was named a first-team All-American by both D3Football.com and Lindy's College Football Magazine. A 3-time All-SCAC and 2-time All-Region selection, Adam was named Conference Defensive Player of the Week 5 times during his career and selected to the league's 30th anniversary All-SCAC squad in 2021. For 2 seasons, Adam coached defensive linemen and linebackers at center and was part of a staff that took center to the NCAA Division III playoffs for the first time in 2011, earning a thrilling home victory over Hampden-Sydney in the program's playoff debut. Adam coached 5 All-SCAC players in his 2 years on staff and helped the Colonels lead the league in scoring defense. Additionally, Adam is the co-owner or co-founder and owner of Gold Path Solar, a residential solar solutions company that does business throughout Ohio, Kentucky, and South Carolina. His coach, Andy Fry, shared, quote, Adam Hay epitomized what it truly means to be a student athlete at center. An outstanding leader, as well as a great defensive linebacker, he models what the Center College Athletics Hall of Fame represents. Center football could not be more proud of him being selected in the 2020 class, end quote. Now, please join me in welcoming Adam Hay to the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Oh my God. You can guess where my family and friends are located. Thank you all so much. Let me get this. I'm a little nervous up here, you know. I'm honored to be here today, especially with the alumni, the distinguished alumni, the other 4 nominees. It is humbling, and of course, I want to thank my parents first. Without you all, I certainly wouldn't be here. You are the most selfless people I know. There's no doubt about that. I want to thank my wife, Casey, as well. I love you. I wish my grandparents could be here, especially, oh man, I'm not even, wasn't supposed to get emotional at this part. It's like literally the beginning. But my grandma and I, especially, Casey, I wish your dad could be here as well. I know they would get a real kick out of this. And it's a cliche way to start a speech, but I do remember my first day like it was yesterday being on campus because it was so impactful for me. I was an undersized 18-year-old, stepping onto campus. I didn't know anybody. I'd never really been away from home before. I truly didn't know anybody. And at the opening kind of team dinner, all of the upperclassmen got up and introduced themselves. And I remember thinking two things. One, that every other player seemed like played linebacker, which was the position that I played. And two, they were all twice as big as I was. So I kind of panicked in that moment and just kind of thinking, what am I doing here? I don't know anybody here. I'm never going to play here. And this is all like within hours of getting to campus for the first time. All of this is happening. And I kind of looked over to my mom and told her like something along the lines of like, I don't know if I can do this. I kind of want to go home. And to my mom's credit, I'll never forget what she said to me. She looked me dead in the eye and she said, Adam, okay, let's go. I'll pack the bags. We'll pull the car around and we can leave now. She didn't want me to go either, I was a mama's boy for sure, but of course I stayed, obviously, and although I was intimidated, I trusted the environment. It felt like a special place, which it certainly is, and I fell in love with the coaches and the team right away, and I knew that, and I trusted that I would be given a chance to earn a spot at some point, and that's ultimately what happened that first preseason. I have the coaching staff, Coach Fry and Coach Conley in particular, to thank for that, and people don't really realize what a rarity it is to have a coaching staff like that, a core staff that was here long before I arrived at center and is still here. Coach Fry is not here because he's getting the guys ready for a game this afternoon. It really is amazing, and it's for that reason and for all of that success that the stadium today is going to be dedicated as Andy Fry Stadium. And, it's not Bo McMillan Stadium. It's not C6HO, it's Andy Fry, and I think that is so awesome. And I just feel honored that I got to play under Andy while I was here, and it made it easy, right? It was a combination of Coach Fry's discipline and focus with Carter Conley's borderline insane, but somehow controlled killer instinct that made playing defense here so much fun. It made it easy to play a sport when really all you do is focus on the joy that sport brings. One quick Coach Fry story. It was my junior year. We were playing Austin College at home, and it was early in the season. It was hot. It was like 100 degrees on the field, and Austin College was like this smash-mouth football team that they're triple option. They want to run 90 to 100 plays a game and just wear you out, and it worked. We were winning by a few points with like a minute left to play, and they were driving to win the game, and the clock had stopped. They had just run a play, and I knew I had about 25 seconds until the next play. And I had never done this before or after during a football game, but I'm not going to crouch down right now. My pants are kind of tight, but I did like the full-blown like hands on the ground, like just taking a few deep gulps of air before they ran the play. And I remember like vividly when I was on the ground, just like kind of scanning our sidelines, just trying to catch my breath. And, the players were watching the game. The coaches were yelling out calls and advice to the guys on the field. No one was looking at me. And then I got to Coach Fry, who was silently staring directly at me, not blinking, just nodding slowly with this smirk on his face like. And when he noticed that I saw him, he pointed at me and he screamed, "Joe mode, Adam Hay, Joe mode." And for those who don't know, that's a popular Coach Fry adage. It's a reference to Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana, his post-game speech after leading the game-winning drive in the Super Bowl. When the reporter asked Joe what was going through his mind before that game-winning drive, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he said something along the lines of focus on the fundamentals, control what you could control. And that's what I did. I lined up, I focused on my offensive lineman's first step, reacted, made the play, and we won the game. Then I threw up all over the field. But I was focusing on the fundamentals. And it's been like 15 years since that, and I think about Joe mode all the time. Like in my professional life, at work, parenting at home. We have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old that I think might be here somewhere, but I say Joe mode all the time to myself, like, what can I control in this parenting scenario? Thank you. I mentioned that Coach Fry story about a play that I made, but to be honest, when I think back about my time playing here, I don't think a lot about plays that I made. I think about plays that my friends made a lot more, and that's what really gets me going. I think about my great friend Matt Johnson, who was dying to be here today, but I had to beg him to stay in Baltimore because his wife's like 40 weeks pregnant with their first kid, and so he wasn't able to make the trip, unfortunately. But I think about him when he intercepted a pass against LaGrange down in Georgia and broke a couple tackles and scored his only college touchdown, and it was his 21st birthday. Like, that's what I think about. I remember I was blocking the quarterback, and I just remember being on the ground and watching Matt kind of cross the goal line and thinking, like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, you can't script that. And then I also remember thinking, thank God this is an away game. If this was a home game and it's Matt's 21st birthday and he had just scored his only touchdown, I think the campus might burn down. And there's no cooler play in sports than an interception return for any football fans. Like, I don't really even watch the guy with the ball. I love watching the other 10 defenders just turn and look for a guy to block, to do everything they can to get their best buddy to score a touchdown. I think it's like the most selfless play in sports, and I love it. But I think about that play from Matt a lot. I think about my buddy Zach, who came up from Nashville to be here, getting an interception against Trinity on senior day at the end of the game to seal the victory. It's the first time we had beaten Trinity in a decade at that point. So I think about that. I think about my brother Aaron making a really nice one-handed touchdown catch in the back of the end zone against Rhodes College down in Memphis. And this was a year after battling back from a devastating knee injury that ended the previous season really before it got started. So after that touchdown, I ran up onto the sideline and just gave him a huge hug. And we hugged for a while. And a couple minutes later, a student trainer came up to me, and she was a current student at Eastern Kentucky. And I knew her a little bit. I knew her name, but not much beyond that. But she was crying, like really crying, like weeping. And she was like, I'm sorry, I know we don't know each other that well, and I don't know why, but when you and your brother hugged just now, I just started crying, and I can't help it. And she was like really embarrassed and kind of kept saying, I'm sorry. And I just kind of reached out and put my hand on her shoulder, and I just said, it's okay. I said, I feel like you feel right now literally all the time. I was like, how could you not? You get to watch your best friends go and make awesome plays all the time, you know? Guys who you work out with and basically live with every single day, right? A guy who maybe spent the offseason rehabbing an injury, or someone who was maybe just getting his shot after 4 years of battling for playing time, or maybe he was having a personal issue he was dealing with or struggling in a class. Like, whatever it was, you get to go see your best bros do that all the time. Like, how could you not get emotional about that? So, yeah, I'm emotional being here today for sure. I know I'll feel the same way watching the game this afternoon in Andy Fry Stadium. So thank you all again. And one last quick story. It was the first game of our senior year, and it was also the first night game in like 100 years somehow. And so it was packed, and it was like the third quarter, and I chased down the quarterback right into the end zone and sacked him for a safety, like in the back corner of the end zone, right in front of about 40 football alumni. And they were right there on the sideline to cheer us on. I don't know how or why they were able to be there with like coolers on the field, basically. But it was incredible. And after the sack, I got up, and started screaming and celebrating with our guys. And we were so close to the alumni that someone, I don't know who, but somebody poured a full solo cup of lukewarm Busch Light directly onto my face and down my throat. And it was the second half. Like, it was hot, I was dehydrated, and out of nowhere, I'm involuntarily chugging a warm, stale beer. It was like the biggest shock to the senses I've ever experienced. And I don't condone that type of behavior, but where else but Center College can you experience a memory like that? Thank you.
Our fourth inductee is Dustin Schulten, center graduating class of 2007. When Center opens the new natatorium this spring, part of the Initiative for Wellness and Athletic Excellence project, there will be a place that honors the All-Americans in the swimming and diving program. And when it comes to the men's diving section, that list will begin with the program's best, Dustin. The most decorated men's diver in Center history, Dustin earned All-America honors for both the 1 meter and 3 meter platforms. During his time at Center, he picked up 3 3-meter conference titles over his career in 2004 and then 06 and 07, and 2 1-meter championships in 04 and 06. At the NCAA championships, Dustin was a 2-time honorable mention All-American on the 3-meter board and earned honorable mention All-American status in 2006 on the 1-meter. He earned SCAC Diver of the Year honors 3 times, and he was also selected to the SCAC's 30th anniversary squad in 2021. His 725 career points earned are the most ever by a Center men's diver, and he still holds the program record for scoring in the 3-meter diving competition with an SCAC championship performance of 515.6 points in 2007. Upon graduating from Center, Dustin earned another bachelor's degree in communications disorders from Utah State University in 2016, and then a master's degree in communication disorders from the University of Louisville. He has put those degrees to good use, serving as a speech-language pathologist in Bullitt County and later in Jefferson County Public Schools, which he has done since 2019. He's also been the diving coach for St. X High School and the Louisville Dive Club since 2009, where he has won 14 KHSAA state championships, 2 national titles, and is a 3-time KHSAA diving coach of the year. Please join me in welcoming Dustin Schulten to the Center College Athletics Hall of Fame.
All right, I'm a little nervous. I would much rather just chuck a 3.5 off the 3-meter board than be up here talking, but I'll do my best, so bear with me. I'm also a speech therapist, so you would think. But you all are not kindergartners, struggling with their K sound, so, but I'll pretend. So I'd like to start by congratulating all the other honorees up here with me. Very well deserved, and great job so far. I also like to thank Center College and the athletic department for this honor. I'm grateful for it, gladly accept it, and I'll cherish it forever. I'd also like to start to where it all began. You're probably thinking diving. Why would you ever choose that sport? It's very unique, but I started at a very young age and was going off the diving board at 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old in a lake at South Park Country Club. And my uncle, Dean Wilkinson, who's here today, taught me all I know about that at a young age. So I took off with it. So I'd definitely like to thank Uncle Dean for that, for instilling the sport of diving with me. I'd also like to thank my other coaches growing up, my age group coach, Mike Zender, and Woody Franklin, who helped a lot, and I coach with Woody now, for really teaching me the sport and for making me a better diver and being up here today, being able to be up here today. I'd also like to thank the TiVo machine that we had in the old auditorium, or not auditorium, for recording dives so I could go watch them and improve to become a better diver here at Center. I would not be the coach I am without that TiVo machine either, so thanks, Coach Brownlee. Next, Coach Brownlee. I would like to thank him for recruiting me and giving me the opportunity to come to Center College. He has been a great friend, coach, and mentor for the last 19 years, almost 20 now. I still deal with him with recruiting to come to Center. I'm sorry for giving you so many heart attacks, especially with the recruiting process and being late giving you recruits. But also mainly for building and sticking with this program for so long. It's such a great program that I love so much, and it's mainly what you do outside of the sport of swimming and diving. The program you've built, the relationships we build as athletes under your guidance are my fondest memories. When I look back, it's my teammates and friends on the swimming and diving team. We built such a strong bond every year, and it was different every year, but all great. We really spent more time together in the pool and outside of the pool than we did in class or studying, it seemed like. But my greatest memory, I look back, and this is a memory that's not even diving related. I think it was my sophomore year, and we were on the bus heading to Washington and Lee in Virginia. And it was going to be a close meet on the guy's side. And I remember on the bus, Coach sitting down next to me and asking me for a favor to put me in one of the swimming events. And I was first like, yeah, I can swim. I'm going to be okay. I'll just go really slow, get last place, make sure I'm legal, and we'll be fine, right? You need the points. I'm a team player. I'll help my teammates out. So we get an event, and when I look at the heat sheet, he had entered me in the 200 IM, which I didn't know at first. I just figured it was going to be the 50 free, and I can just get in and get out. Nobody would see me. But the 200 IM, if you're unfamiliar, you got to do all 4 strokes to 50 of all 4 butterback breast free. Needless to say, it's not an easy event, but still, I knew how to do all 4 strokes. I could do it. So the race started. I think that pool had 8 lanes, so there were 8 of us. And I was just taking my time, nice and easy, making sure I was legal. It started off with teammates, 4 or 5 of them, my sister, my fellow divers, Samantha McCure, Shana Mockler, Will Doherty, cheering me on, just the 4 or 5 of them there. And I was just taking it nice and easy, take the backstroke leg, and it starts getting a little louder. You make the turn from backstroke to breaststroke where you can actually see, and there's like 20 teammates there, and they're all going nuts. And the one right in the middle, why this is such a vivid memory is because my friend and teammate who is right in the middle going the most crazy was Matt Shuey. So Matt, and the beloved Matt Shuey, if you don't know who he is, but he was going nuts, and when you make that breaststroke turn, he was like nose to nose and pointing that way. And I thought something was wrong, almost stopped. But apparently I was like neck and neck with this other guy from Washington and Lee. So I turn on the jets and go as fast as I can, and I'm dead tired, and it turns out I ended up beating the guy barely. And teammates were going nuts. It's such a great memory. Everybody's going crazy and everything. And at the end of the meet, we ended up tying Washington and Lee. So without doing that event, we would have lost, or not beating that guy, we would have lost. So I thought that was great, and the team atmosphere was so great, and it still is. I was at the alumni meet last night, and Coach still has such a tight bond with his guys and girls, and there at the end when everybody got together and the cheer, we all got together. Cheer was 1, 2, 3 center, 3 or 4, 5, 6 family. And I thought that was so cool, and it's an example of what he's built. So thanks, Coach Brownlee. On to my family. My wife, Brianne, thanks for putting up with me and being so supportive and amazing. You're the best. We've been struggling. We've gotten some bad news in the last couple of years, and nothing really good's happened. So when I got the call and the email about getting inducted, it was welcomed very much so. So hopefully we can keep that good news going, babe. Maybe the lottery next, you think? I don't know. My family, my siblings, come from a unique family. A lot of you might know us. I'm the youngest of 9 children. Chris, Andy, Thad, Neil, Darren, Lindsay, Missy, and my twin sister, Courtney. 5 of us are center alum, and all 5 were on the swimming and diving team. Me being the youngest, they taught me so much growing up. not just about swimming and diving, but about all sports and life in general. And it's really because of them that I'm the best athlete in the family. But to my parents, most importantly, it really does take a lot to raise 9 children. There's not many Catholic families, big Catholic families anymore. And I'm so honored and thankful for what my parents provided us. They really taught us how to be good people who care about others and be humble and to work hard and to strive to be the best we can be and to love unconditionally. And they really taught me how to be a good sportsman. And I introduced sports and sportsmanship was a big thing growing up, and I really took to that throughout my whole career, and I'm really thankful for that. In the last, about a year and a half ago, we lost my father last June, and he was my biggest supporter. He was all of our biggest supporters in the family, and it's really hard today to look out and not see that proud look on his face that he always gave after every event, every soccer match, every volleyball match that we did. So I just wish he was here to see it, but I know that he's so proud, and the only thing that makes him more proud of his kids' accomplishments are his 26 grandkids their accomplishments. So I will be forever grateful for him and my mom and my family for instilling my love of sports and being a sports lover. So thank you.
Our fifth and final inductee is Sarah Berger Zerhusen, Center graduating class of 2008. It is fitting that Sarah is the first ever Center Athletics Hall of Fame inductee to exclusively represent the sport of volleyball. In 2004, Sarah had a rookie season on par with any first year in any sport at Center, as she was named an AVCA Honorable Mention All-American, the first such honor in program history, while also taking home SCAC Freshman of the Year honors. She was named to the All-SCAC team in all 4 of her seasons at Center, earning first team honors in 2005 and in 2007. As impressive as her long list of accolades are, her career statistics are even more eye-popping. Her 28 kills against Millsaps in 2007 are still the second most in a 4-set match and in the top 20 in any match in conference history. She finished her career with 2,188 kills, by far the most ever in program history and second most in SCAC history. Sarah also ranks first at Center and fourth in conference history with 4.08 kills per set during her career and was named to the SCAC 30th anniversary team in 2021. After graduating from Center, Sarah earned a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing from Bellarmine University School of Nursing in 2011 and a Doctor of Nursing Practice degree from the University of Kentucky School of Nursing in 2018. Since 2018, Sarah has been a nurse practitioner at Louisville Orthopedic Clinic. Please join me in welcoming Sarah Berger Zerhusen to the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Hello, last but not least, right? Almost done, guys. Thank you very much for that lovely introduction, and thank you, everyone, for this lovely honor. As I've been thinking about what I wanted to say over the past week, I was flooded with so many memories of my time at Center. For a long time, I was actually adamant about not coming to Center College. My dad was a Center grad. He's actually celebrating his 45-year reunion this weekend. And he would constantly talk about how amazing it was, and it was just too annoying to me as a kid I just couldn't hear about center anymore. But as I begrudgingly came down from my official visit as a junior in high school, I learned so quickly why he loved this place so much. I will never forget how President John Roush and his wife Susie came out of the president's mansion to greet us while we were on our campus tour. They stood there on that hot summer day for over 20 minutes just talking with my family. I knew then that this place was special. So I went against my original plan and decided to come to center and play volleyball, and it ended up being one of the best decisions I've ever made. Some of my favorite memories of being a Division III athlete include not only the competition, awards, occasional Player of the Week accolades, but mostly the strong friendships, being OCB, road trips, team dinners, running the flame, swimming the fountain, weekly Grey's Anatomy watch parties, the hooch party, and the list could go on. But as I celebrate my 15-year reunion this weekend, I'm even more grateful that I continue to make memories with all these people. Many of my CCVB teammates are still some of my best friends today. We have been at each other's side through weddings, babies, parent illness, divorce, career changes, and I don't know what I would do without them in my life. They will always be my OCBs. In addition, I met my husband Coy on the center volleyball court. He and the rest of the center basketball team would volunteer at our home games. There were many Saturday and Sunday early mornings I would see him sleepily keeping score or being line judge on the sidelines. We were friends through college but did not date until after we had both graduated from center. And now here we are, almost 16 or 17 years later. I lost count at this point. I love our crazy life and our 4 beautiful children that we have created. I will forever be thankful that Center College brought us together. I'd also like to thank my 2 coaches, Stephanie Dragan and James Nayhouse. Coach Dragan had a true competitive spirit and taught me how to bring out my inner OCB competitive nature as well as refine my skills as a hitter. James, on the other hand, had a more cerebral approach to volleyball. He taught me how to use critical thinking and a more tactical approach to the game. I believe their different coaching styles truly helped me become the more well-rounded player that I was. I'd also like to thank my teammates. Volleyball is the ultimate team sport. One player is only as good as the team. This is especially true as a hitter. You need a good pass and a good set to make that play. Without my teammates, my setters, the defensive specialists, the other hitters, I would not have been able to get the record number of kills that I have. This award would not be possible without all of you. Thank you to my parents, Tim and Susanna Berger, for always being my biggest cheerleaders in volleyball and in life. You helped make my dream of playing volleyball in college possible, and you took so much time out of your own lives to support something that I loved to do. I only truly understand what that means now that I am a parent. I am forever grateful and love you both so much. Thank you to my younger sister, Allison Reynolds, who never complained as she was dragged along for the ride to hundreds of volleyball games and trips over the years. I'm so lucky to always have her love and support, even if she did go to Transy. Lastly, but not least, I have to thank my roommate of all 4 years, Molly Ronald Boron. Why am I getting emotional for Malls? Who kept me sane all those years and has truly been one of my best friends for life since we were about 2 years old. Being roommates was truly the best, and I miss it a lot. So, in closing, as life always does, everything comes full circle, and now I am the annoying parent that will not stop talking about center to anyone who will listen. And I think, as we've seen today, it's a running theme that Center College is not just a college, it's a special place, it's a lifetime of love and happiness and friendship, and I'm, like I said, very grateful to have been a part of this wonderful place. So thank you to Center College Athletic Department for this wonderful recognition. It's truly an honor.
Let's give all the honorees another hand there. We have a special group here. Before we go, I did want to acknowledge our former president, President Roush and his lovely wife. I almost didn't see you. My eyes getting bad. And as the doctor said, when you get old, I'm old school. I bought a new cell phone. I'm still trying to learn how to turn it off. But I think I see one of my classmates, but if I'm wrong, I'm scared to call his name out, but one of the Calvin brothers look like they're here, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Now, if you are here, shake my hand out. Don't forget about the football game. Andy Fry, as one of the members mentioned, the stadium is being dedicated to him today around 4 o'clock. Again, unless it's overtime game. A lot of tailgating going on, so enjoy yourself and really take advantage of this weekend meeting everybody. Center is a special place, special family. Everybody's like brothers and sisters, so go meet folks that you know and go meet other folks that you don't know. Again, I enjoyed doing this. We want to thank Dr. Moreland, Kelly, Mackenzie, Brad for putting on this special show. It's been an honor again. Good to see everybody. Thank you.